Here's a detailed summary of A Women and Economics by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. Women and Economics, a study of the economic relation between men and women as a factor in social evolution. Introduction. Charlotte Perkins Gilman's A Women and Economics, published in 1898, is a groundbreaking work that examines the economic dynamics between men and women, highlighting how these relationships shape society. Gilman argues that economic independence is crucial for women's liberation and societal progress. Chapter 1: The Evolutionary Argument. Gilman begins by discussing the role of women in the evolutionary process, critiquing the traditional belief that women's primary function is reproduction. She argues that human progress demands more than biological roles and that women's economic participation is essential for the advancement of society. Chapter 2: The Economic Dependence of Women. In this chapter, Gilman examines the historical economic dependence of women on men. She explains that, traditionally, men have been the providers while women have been relegated to domestic roles. This economic dependence, she argues, has stifled women's potential and creativity, leading to a loss of individual and societal growth. Chapter 3: The Effects of Economic Dependence on Women's Personal Development. Gilman delves into the psychological and social effects of economic dependence on women. She asserts that dependency inhibits personal development, self-esteem, and autonomy. Women's talents and abilities are often suppressed, leading to a narrow and limited role within the household. Chapter 4: The Home as a Workplace. Gilman challenges the traditional notion of the home as solely a place of comfort and nurturing. She argues that the home is a workplace for women, where they perform essential labor without recognition or economic compensation. This lack of recognition diminishes the value of women's work and reinforces their economic subordination. Chapter 5: The Economic Function of Women. The book examines women's economic function beyond the household. Gilman advocates for the professionalization of domestic work and suggests that tasks traditionally performed by women should be recognized and compensated as legitimate labor. She emphasizes the need for women to engage in productive work outside the home to achieve economic independence and societal equality. Chapter 6: Marriage and Economic Exchange. Gilman analyzes marriage as an economic institution where women exchange domestic services and reproductive capabilities for financial support. She critiques this arrangement as inherently unequal and argues that true partnership in marriage can only be achieved through economic independence and mutual contribution to household finances. Chapter 7: The Economic Basis of Social Progress. Gilman argues that the economic liberation of women is essential for social progress. She suggests that societies where women have economic freedom tend to be more advanced and equitable. By integrating women into the workforce and recognizing their contributions, societies can harness the full potential of their population. Chapter 8: Solutions and Future Directions. In the final chapter, Gilman proposes solutions for achieving economic independence for women. She advocates for educational reforms, vocational training, and changes in social attitudes towards women's work. Gilman also calls for policy changes to support working women, such as childcare services and maternity benefits, to ensure that women can balance professional and domestic responsibilities. Conclusion. A Women and Economics is a seminal work that challenges traditional gender roles and calls for a re-evaluation of women's economic contributions. Gilman's arguments laid the groundwork for future feminist movements and continue to resonate in contemporary discussions on gender equality and economic independence. Charlotte Perkins Gilman's analysis in A Women and Economics remains a critical resource for understanding the intersection of gender and economics and advocating for a more inclusive and equitable society.